since the September 11 assault on the U.S. consulate in Benghazi, which left Ambassador Christopher Stevens and 3 other Americans dead. Questions have persisted over what happened that night, whether there was adequate security at the compound and the manner in which the Obama administration initially characterized the attack. Below is an account, compiled by CBS News, from sources who spoke to us in Washington and Benghazi about the attack in that eastern Libyan city and the investigation that followed. Hours before the assault, nearly 750 miles away in Cairo, events were taking shape. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. That would inform the early narrative surrounding the events in Benghazi, around 12 o'clock p.m. 6 o'clock a.m. Yet the U.S. Embassy in Cairo releases a statement on its website disavowing a YouTube film named Innocence of Muslims, which mocks the Prophet Muhammad. Later that afternoon, protesters who had gathered outside the embassy compound stormed the gates and tore the American flag down, replacing it with a black Salafist flag. Around 9 o'clock p.m. 3 p.m. at in the walled Benghazi compound, U.S. Ambassador J. Christopher Stevens says goodnight to the Turkish Ambassador Ali Kandalwan. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. And retires to his room in Building C, a large residence with numerous bedrooms and a safe haven. There are 3 other structures in the compound. Building B, a residence with bedrooms and cantina and dining room. The Tactical Operations Center (TOC) located across from Building B, containing offices, 1 bedroom and security cameras, and barracks located by the front gate, staffed by Libyan security guards. At this time, there are 5 diplomatic security agents (DS) on site, 3 based in Benghazi and 2 traveling with Stevens. According to a U.S. state. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Department account given October 9. There was nothing unusual outside of the gates. 9:40 p.m. 3:40 p.m. Yet gunfire and an explosion are heard. A TOC agent sees dozens of armed people over security camera flowing through a pedestrian gate at the compound's main entrance. It is not clear how the gate was opened. The agent hits the alarm and alerts the CIA security team in the nearby annex and the Libyan 17th of February Brigade, one of several powerful militias serving as a de facto security presence in Benghazi. The embassy in. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Tripoli and the State Department Command Center were also alerted. State Department diplomatic security follows events in real time on a listen-only, audio-only feed, according to testimony of Charlene Lamb, the Deputy Assistant Director for International Programs, given before the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee on October 10. Around 10 p.m. 4 p.m. Yet at the compound, several DS agents leave to get tactical gear from Building B. One stays in Building C with Ambassador Stevens and Information Officer Sean Smith. The mob sets fire to the 17th of February Brigade Barracks on. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Site. DS agent Scott Strickland moves Stevens and Smith to the closest area safe haven in Building C. The other agents, currently in Building B and the TOC, come under attack. The attackers get into Building C, lights furniture on fire, then the building's exterior. Stevens, Smith and Agent Strickland move to the bathroom and lay on floor but decide to leave safe haven after being overcome by smoke. Strickland goes out an emergency escape window. Stevens and Smith do not follow. Strickland returned several times but can't. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Find them in the overwhelming smoke. He goes up to the roof and radios the other agents. 3 agents return to Building C via armored vehicle. They search and find Smith's body, but not Stevens. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton is told of the incident shortly after it began at 4 p.m. CBS News' Margaret Brennan reported September 14. Clinton spoke to the Libyan President Mohamed Magarias to enlist his full support. 10:25 p.m. 4:25 p.m. A 6-member CIA team arrives from the annex with 40 to 60 members of. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. 17th of February Brigade. The team removes Smith's body. 11 p.m. 5 p.m. Yet just ahead of the weekly meeting with Defense Secretary Leon Panetta and Chairman of Joint Chiefs Martin Dempsey, White House National Security Advisor Tom Tomilin tells President Obama of the attack and the fire at the main village. The president is updated several times throughout the evening. At the compound, the 17th of February brigade says they can't hold the perimeter and withdraws. DS agents make final search for Stevens and leave with the CIA team in thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. An armored vehicle heading for the annex, taking fire along the way. Of note, when CBS News' Elizabeth Palmer visited the compound in one of several trips to Libya, she found little evidence of an extensive firefight at the compound's walls and main gate, likely indicating the fiercest fighting occurred away from the compound. Midnight 6 p.m. PET agents arrive at the annex, which received sporadic small arms fire and RPG rounds over the roughly 90-minute period. The security team returns fire and the attackers disperse. Around 12:30 a.m. 6:30 p.m. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. The Pentagon issues an order to a special operations team in Europe to move to Sicily, Sicily, less than 1 hour's flight away from Benghazi. Over the next 3 hours an additional special operations team based in the U.S. is ordered to deploy to Sicily. Neither arrived in time. 1:00 a.m. 7 p.m. The first of 2 unmanned U.S. Predator drones, which already had been flying over eastern Libya, is diverted to Benghazi, as reported by CBS News' Cheryl Atkinson and David Martin on October 15. 1:30 a.m. 7:30 p.m. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. U.S. security team from Embassy Tripoli lands in Benghazi and learn that the ambassador is missing. They try to arrange for transportation into town, with the goal of locating Stevens. 4:07 a.m. 10:07 p.m. Secretary Clinton issues a statement acknowledging the death of one State Department officer. 5:00 a.m. 11:00 p.m. The second U.S. Predator drone arrives, per CBS News Atkinson and Martin. 5:15 a.m. 11:15 p.m. The U.S. Regional Security Office in Tripoli gets a phone call from an Arabic-speaking source who says a Westerner has been found. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. In Benghazi and is perhaps at a hospital. It's believed to be Ambassador Stevens. Transfer to airport is arranged. At around the same time, the additional security team finds transportation from the airport under the escort of the Libyan Shield, another local militia, but decides to head to the annex after learning that Stevens was almost certainly dead. Just after their arrival, the annex takes mortar fire, sustaining 3 direct hits. The precision of the attacks indicates a level of sophistication and coordination. Former U.S. Navy SEALs Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty are killed. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. In the mortar assault, which lasts just 11 minutes before dissipating, a DS agent and annex security member are severely wounded. After the mortar attack, about 30 Americans evacuate the annex and head to the airport, with the assistance of the Libyan security convoy. Ambassador Stevens was confirmed dead later that morning, as Americans see his body at the airport. The plane is too small for all of the Americans, so the first flight out takes U.S. diplomats and civilians to Tripoli, leaving behind security staff and bodies. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. 8:00 a.m. to a.m. The second flight leaves Benghazi for Tripoli with U.S. security members and bodies. President Obama is told of Stevens' death. State Department tells all diplomatic posts around the world to review their security posture and to take all necessary steps to enhance it. September 12, Secretary Clinton announces the death of Stevens and Smith via press release. Clinton held a video conference with the entire embassy staff in Tripoli, which by then also included everyone who was evacuated from Benghazi, as reported by CBS News. Margaret, thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Brennan, September 14. Clinton later delivers live remarks from the treaty room of the U.S. State Department. President Obama addresses the public, "Make no mistake, we will work with the Libyan government to bring to justice the killers who attacked our people. Since our founding, the United States has been a nation that respects all faiths. We reject all efforts to denigrate the religious beliefs of others. But there is absolutely no justification for this type of senseless violence. No acts of terror will ever shake the resolve of this thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Great nation, alter that character or eclipse the light of the values that we stand for. The President spent time with State Department personnel in an impromptu visit that is closed to the press. In an interview with President Obama the same day, 60 Minutes correspondent Steve Croft presses the President on early accounts that the attack stemmed from a spontaneous protest, saying it didn't sound like your normal demonstration. "We're still investigating exactly what happened," Mr. Obama said. "I don't want to jump the gun on this. But you're right, thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. That this is not a situation that was exactly the same as what happened in Egypt. And my suspicion is that there are folks involved in this, who were looking to target Americans from the start." Meanwhile, Clinton visits the Near Eastern Affairs Bureau, and the Information Technology Bureau where Sean Smith was assigned, CBS News' Margaret Brennan reports. Clinton later references the assault as an attack by a small and savage group. Meanwhile, senior State Department officials share initial details of the attack in Benghazi with members of the Thank You for Trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Press via phone briefing. The senior official says in response to an inquiry about alleged protests outside of consulate that night, "We frankly don't have a full picture of what may have been going on outside of the compound walls before the firing began. With regard to whether there is any connection between this internet activity and this extremist attack in Benghazi, frankly, we just don't know. We're not going to know until we have a chance to investigate." CBS News' David Martin reports that some U.S. officials already were looking at the attack as a thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Terrorist act, perpetrated by people either associated with or who sympathize with Al-Qaeda, that took advantage of the protest. The FBI officially opens an investigation into the deaths of Stevens and the 3 other Americans killed, as reported by CBS News' Andres Triay and Bob Orr. September 13, the government official speaking on the condition of anonymity said the FBI is planning to send investigators to Germany to interview U.S. consulate personnel who were evacuated there, as reported by CBS' Pat Milton. CBS News' David Martin reports that a radical thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Islamic group called Ansar al-Sharia is the lead suspect in the attack, according to U.S. officials. The name means supporters of Islamic law. Seconds Clinton remains in regular contact with other top officials such as Secretary Panetta and General Dempsey, CBS News' Margaret Brennan reports. Marine anti-terrorist teams similar to the one sent to Tripoli land in Yemen to protect the U.S. Embassy in Sana'a, reports CBS News' David Martin. There are 2 more of these teams on standby, but so far no plans to send them to particular embassies. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. CBS News' Charlie D'Agata gets access to an injured Libyan guard based inside the consulate, who offers a first-hand account of the attack and makes the first mention of Blue Mountain, the British security firm contracted by the State Department that employed Libyans to conduct procedural security measures inside the compound, including X-rays of equipment. September 14, the bodies of Stevens, Smith, Woods and Doherty are returned to the U.S. They are welcomed in a televised ceremony at Joint Base Andrews. Secretary Clinton publicly denounces the innocence of Muslims video. CBS News' Brennan reports thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. That Clinton visits the Situation Room and Oval Office half a dozen times this week and spends countless hours there. CBS News' Cami McCormick reports on protests outside the U.S. Embassy in Khartoum, Sudan. The number of protesters outside the Khartoum embassy is estimated at 2,000. Police used tear gas against the stone-throwing protesters. The demonstrators were trying to get in the compound but police held them back. CBS News' Charlie D'Agata interviews members of the 17th of February Brigade's VIP protection team involved in the evacuation and obtains exclusive photos of an injured thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. American being evacuated to the airport from the annex under the brigade's escort. They put the total number of Americans evacuated from Benghazi at 32. September 15, CBS News' Daggett is the first reporter to locate the secret CIA annex in Benghazi. He reports that the roof of the house is covered in mortars. CBS News broadcasts images of the helmets and bloodied flak jackets discovered there. September 16, U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Susan Rice tells Bob Schieffer on CBS Face the Nation that there is no information that suggests the attack. Thank you for trying, verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Was pre-planned. We'll want to see the results of that investigation to draw any definitive conclusions. But based on the best information we have to date, what our assessment is as of the present is in fact what began spontaneously in Benghazi as a reaction to what had transpired some hours earlier in Cairo where, of course, as you know, there was a violent protest outside of our embassy sparked by this hateful video. But soon after that spontaneous protest began outside of our consulate in Benghazi, we believe that it looks like extremist elements, individuals. Thank you for trying, verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Joined in that effort with heavy weapons of the sort that are, unfortunately, readily now available in Libya post-revolution. And that it spun from there into something much, much more violent. We do not have information at present that leads us to conclude that this was premeditated or pre-planned. Earlier in that same program, Libyan President Magarias tells Schieffer that the assault was pre-planned and some of the attackers were foreigners. The way these perpetrators acted and moved, this leaves us with no doubt that this is pre-planned, determined. Thank you for trying, verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Predetermined. It was planned, definitely. It was planned by foreigners, by people who entered the country a few months ago, and they were planning this criminal act since their arrival. Magarias also claimed about 50 people had been arrested in connection with the attack. Magarias separately states Hamid Boukhatoula is one of the lead suspects. CBS News interviews Boukhatoula over mango juice off camera and admitted he was there that night but denies any involvement in the attack. At that point, he had still not. Thank you for trying, verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Been questioned and was moving freely in Benghazi, challenging Magarias to come to my house and arrest me if he was a suspect.